Everybody gets quiet now. I'd like to welcome everyone to the March 27th, 2017 meeting of the Delaware County Board of Commissioners. If everyone would join me in the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'm Jeff Benton, President of the Board this year. To my left is Gary Merrill, Vice President of the Board. Barb Lewis, our other commissioner, is out of town this week, so she's not with us. Our County Administrator for Anna Med, and our clerk today is Jen Walriven. We can start.
Resolution number 17-286, in the matter of approving electronic records of proceedings from regular meeting held March 20th, 2017.
So moved.
Second. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 17-286. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
We do not have any public comment or elected official comment today. That brings us to item number 4, resolution number 17-287, in the matter of approving purchase orders and now certificates and payments of warrants in batch number CM APR 0324.
So moved.
Second. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 17-287. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-288, in the matter of approving travel expense requests.
So moved.
Second. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 17-288. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-289, setting date, time, and place for reviewing and the final hearing by the Commissioners for the Havens 503 Drainage Improvement Petition Project.
So moved.
Second. Discussion. This is a second viewing, just as a matter of courtesy
Yes.
to those of us who want to make sure we see the viewing.
Commissioner Merrill might have been at this one, but we have two commissioners
And
that have not seen this.
it's been almost 4 years?
Yes, it's up near Peach Blow Road.
I believe I was at it, but I'll get a refresher. How's that?
Yeah. The area changes a lot in 4 years around here. Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 17-289. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-290, in the matter of setting bid date for the Dell TR 149-2.57 improvement rebid.
So moved.
Second. Discussion.
Good morning, Chris Boserman, County Engineer. This is a large culvert, small bridge structure on Klondike Road in Scioto Township, and it was damaged during high water last year, and ultimately we received a partial grant from OPWC to replace it with emergency funds. We bid this project, and all the bids came in over estimate, and so we've revised the plans a little bit to address some of the comments we heard back from contractors and have adjusted the estimate and would like to go back out to bid.
So is this,
No, go ahead.
is this your current estimate larger than our original estimate, or
It is. We've changed the scope a little bit. We've made some of the items that we had listed as mandatory as optional, as if needed, and then have adjusted the pricing to reflect apparently what there's a lot of work out to bid at the moment right now. People are picking and choosing what they want to bid on. So
Okay. Is the Klondike closed now?
it is closed.
Okay,
Yes.
that's what I thought. Yeah. Okay. All right, vote.
Vote on motion 17-290. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-291, in the matter of approving a right-of-way work permit summary sheet.
So moved.
Second. Discussion.
I have several permits for your consideration today that our office has reviewed. All of these are in keeping with our standards for right-of-way permit reviews. I'm recommending approval.
Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 17-291. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-292, in the matter of approving a contract of sale and purchase between Marcus Weber and Julia Weber and the Board of Delaware County Commissioners for Dell CR 24-0.07.
So moved.
Second. Discussion.
This is for our old 3C project, one of the right-of-way parcels that's necessary for that work. We've negotiated a price that's very close to our original appraisal. I think it's fair to both parties. I'm recommending approval.
Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 17-293. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-293, in the matter of amending a child placement services contract between the Delaware County Department of Job and Family Services, the Delaware County Board of Commissioners, and the provider Village Network.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
Good morning, Angela Thomas, Job and Family Services. What we'd like to do is extend our contract with the Village Network, which coincides with the time of year that they make their rate adjustments. So we were asking for your approval to take this contract through March with the revised rates.
This is a one-year extension. Then the child who's placed there is planned on being there? No, don't know.
Never know, but there's actually multiple placements at Village Network.
Oh, mobile,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. Significant increase? Percentage?
No, it's nominal.
Question? Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 17-293, Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Resolution number 17-294, in the matter of approving a services agreement between the Delaware County Board of Commissioners and Frontier Communications of America Incorporated for Delaware County's Walker Woods Treatment Plant.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
Good morning, John Melvin, Director of Facilities. This is actually a telephone truck for the Maine County telephone system. What we're trying to accomplish here is to move one of the 3 trunks that currently come up here to the main site down to the Walker Woods Treatment Facility. What this will allow is for calls to 614 to be routed out through that trunk and eliminate the extended local calling. And previously on the old system, we were paying for a foreign exchange service. It's roughly about $1,500 a month we'll be saving.
I'm always in support of that.
Yeah, good leadership, good initiative, save the county some money. Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 17-294, Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Mr. Merrill.
All right. Well, John's here. I've been gone, and I'm just curious, how we stand on the courthouse? Are we on schedule, behind schedule?
We're still about 4 weeks behind schedule. We got a schedule update last week. Even working 6 days a week, they're still projecting an end of July completion. It's a very busy site right over there. Finished work is going on level 300. They're still building wells out on level 500, progressing their way up through the building. It's pretty much dried in. The roof membrane's down, so it's pretty much dried in, but there's a lot of detail work to go on with the roof. It's a busy site right now.
And I assume we've got a plan either close to being finished as far as the moving people over there? Is that?
Yeah, we started some of that planning. That's going to be another undertaking. We don't foresee any way to move somebody independently with the courts. It's pretty much going to have to move all the courts at once. So, yeah, we started looking at that. Celine's been helping us with the FF&E, the furniture, fixtures, and electronics. We about have those packages complete, ready to get pricing for those equipment as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, vote.
We already voted. That was just
Yep, never mind.
extra little.
We'll vote again. It was so popular, we like that.
Item number 12, resolution number 17-295. In the matter of approving the First Amendment to the contract for Global Positioning Systems Electronic Monitoring Services and Equipment between Delaware County Board of Commissioners, Delaware County Adult Court Services, and 3M Electronic Monitoring Incorporated for Delaware County Adult Court Services.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
Hey, good morning, Commissioner Benton, Commissioner Merrill. Mark Taglione on behalf of Adult Court Services. I'm here this morning for approval of a one-year contract extension with 3M Electronic Monitoring. Our current contract expires on April 1st, 2017. Therefore, we are asking that the contract we have with 3M be extended through April 1st, 2018, same terms and conditions as the previous contract we have.
You've been pleased with the service?
Yes, sir, we have. They just upgraded their unit probably about October, and since then they've changed, communicated with Verizon, which seems to have a lot better reception, and our communication is a lot better than previous. So we're pleased with the upgrades that has happened, and we are pleased with the services that we have right now with them.
All right, this one we'll take a vote on.
Vote on motion 17-295, Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mr. Benton.
Aye. We're good, thank you.
Thank you.
Resolution number 17-296, in the matter of approving an amendment number 1 to the sanitary sewer owners agreement for Olentangy Local School District 4th High School.
So moved.
Second. Discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Mike Fromer, sanitary engineer. We are requesting amendment to the agreement to reduce the capacity unit equivalents for the 4th High School. When it was originally done, this new Berlin High School was actually at a higher ERU count than Liberty and Orange, and I think when you see some of the new population statistics and everything, that's not an accurate reflection. So, also, when you look at the student counts, that we have in there, it's a little misleading because we use what's the Ohio EPA Green Book that says so many gallons per student, but when you start looking at the number of days that they're there, in school and the usage of the staff and the facilities, we feel that this is more accurate reflection of what's going on compared to the other high schools.
But students change, the population changes, it grows, and the needs will be greater at that point. So how do we deal with that?
It'll be, this will be consistent with the other high schools. This one, Berlin, was actually higher than what Olentangy, Liberty, and Orange currently are paying. So,
And
they're above capacity, actually.
they're above capacity. So the Berlin one, when they start that school, they won't have 1,600 students there, or they won't be at capacity. The ERU count that we're charging them is based on, ultimate, will be capacity and build out of that facility.
for my benefit, and I wasn't here last week, so we didn't get a chance to talk about this, translate this to dollars. What the original estimate versus where we are now, what's the difference in cost?
I think on the connection fee, it's about $25,000.
So,
And then on the monthly fee, it's $60 or $70 for 2 ERU changes.
okay. So, okay. That's all.
Okay. All right, vote.
Vote on motion 17-296, Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Resolution number 17-297, in the matter of approving a transfer for appropriations for the Regional Sewer District.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
This item, we were originally planning on this valve replacement to be done by an external contractor. After looking at it, we feel that we can do the work in-house. So we're transferring what we had budgeted, the $7,000 for external services to parts and equipment. And I think we'll actually do it for less than what we had budgeted by just buying the parts and equipment, so.
Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 17-297, Mr. Merrill. Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Resolution number 17-298, in the matter of approving the sanitary sewer improvement plans for the center at Powell Crossing.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
This is our standard plan approval. The plans have met our requirements, and we're recommending approval.
Where is this one, Mike?
It's located near the railroad tracks in downtown. It's actually just on the southwest side. They've been clearing that area out, I think.
They've been working on a plan for that corner for a long time.
Yeah,
It's good to see.
All the auto, the car repair shops and all that, right?
exactly. So,
Good. Vote.
Vote on resolution number 17-298. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
That brings us
Thanks,
to administrator reports.
Morning, Commissioners. Actually, I sent an email to Director Fromer and Deputy Director Tiffany Mack asking them to look at the numbers at the Olentangy High School again, where my daughter's a senior because she's a germaphobe and spends 20% of her time in the bathroom washing her hands. I guess they accounted for that. I have a couple of items, but before that, I wanted to welcome and acknowledge a good friend, a former executive director of the County Commissioners Association of Ohio, Mr. Larry Long. Thanks for visiting us today. Welcome. Thursday was the renewal meeting with Corsa, and you were there, Commissioner Benton, and Don and I and Cindy from upstairs, and a lot of good information shared. The story about the cyber attacks in Licking County were fascinating, and unfortunately, it's the sign of the times we live in. Big shout out to George Kaitsa and Steve Lewis and the entire team there for making sure that our cybersecurity is top-notch in the county. And the other thing I wanted to report out on was MORPC would like to visit the county, I believe, on the 1st of June to do a tour of the county with the executive committee, and Commissioner Merrill is on the executive committee, so I suggested that the meeting be held across the hall in the big room. The City of Delaware will participate in that. And what they want to do is, they suggested that they look at the competitive advantage projects. There's a lot to look at, but with an hour and a half on the tour, what are you going to look at? So that's a good idea, and I thought that it would be a good idea for Chris Bosman to give them a tour of where the future Big Walnut will be, because that is going to be the biggest project that we work with MORPC on in the coming few years. So that's all I have, and there'll be more to come on that.
I think, I think, because they're coming from Dublin, and I emailed, Union County, they could go across Home Road, Big Walnut, over to the Big Walnut Exchange, up 71, over 36, and to see the point, and then head further.
Jane suggested we might even drive them past Evans Farms and show them.
Yeah, that would take us right by Evans Farm.
Sure.
Yeah, they're all kind of that same area.
Yeah, but it'd be a perfect loop, and I think you could do it in an hour and a half.
Do it in an hour and a half, yes.
And show them really all our priorities that we're seeing from the CAP. So hopefully we can get that done, because
Yes, exactly.
yeah, we could squeeze it in an hour if we alerted the sheriff and told him not to stop us.
Well, it all depends on the executive meeting, because they want to have the executive board meeting, which is not going to be with us. That's just going to be the board, which includes Commissioner Merrill. So as long as that meeting doesn't go too long.
So now it's on me, right? Well, I received an email while I was gone last week, so I sent Frizana a note that we get together this afternoon or tomorrow morning, whatever works, and I think we're going to do it today, just because all I know is what I read in the email.
Sure.
And I learned a little bit just the conversation here as far as the limited amount of time, but I think those are the ideal things to see for the little time we have.
Yeah, sure. It's great that they want to come up and see it, because there's a lot going on and a lot of needs, so that'd be good.
Very good.
That it? That's it. Thank you. Commissioner
Well,
Merrill?
as I stated, I went home to see family last week, and so I wasn't here, and so I really have nothing to report unless you want me to tell you about my vacation. So
You got slides.
and I got a good feeling I know the answer to that question. I'll pass.
Okay. Well, welcome back, Commissioner Merrill. Last week, as always, it was a busy week, and we've got a lot more coming up. As Farzan had mentioned, we did do the Corsa renewal, and I'd just like to compliment Corsa. I don't know if that was created during your tenure?
It actually was, yes.
Okay. Corsa's it's in really good shape. They provide a good service. They keep on top of the risks, and they offer help in managing those risks and insuring those risks. So it was a good meeting. It was fascinating to hear the Licking County story. Everybody was really paying attention. That was pretty scary, but I think we're duly addressing those concerns, and Steve does a great job of addressing that. ODOT District 6 has a TIP, Transportation Improvement Program, open house this Friday. I think it's 11 to 1 or 10 to noon, but that should be interesting to see go over there and visit with them. Auglaize County Commissioners are coming in tomorrow, no.
They came last week.
Oh, that's right, yeah. I'm sorry, they were here last week. I want to mention that they were here. And that was interesting, too. They talked about EMS. They're way back from where we were. You know, they're back in the 70s, where Delaware County was in the 70s. And they've got a number of challenges to get staff and get coverage and, follow the right protocols and everything. So they...
Seemed like they wanted to follow our...
Yeah, they want to go in our direction, but again, they've got much more limited funding, and they've got geography that just isn't as the same. But again, it was an interesting meeting. Went to Joe DiGenova's service on Friday. It was very well attended and a very nice service. Everyone will miss Joe tremendously for a whole bunch of reasons. He was great for the veterans, he was great for the city, and just a really good guy. We got an investment committee meeting Thursday morning, and Sarah did a bed tax summary. We should, in the first 12 months, although obviously we aren't quite done with 12 months yet, but we should realize in excess of $1.5 million in bed tax sales receipts in the first 12 months. So that's going to be very beneficial to our fairgrounds and provide the funding stream that we need to get that place fixed up, because it has a lot of needs. So anyway, that's all I've got. Apparently we're not going to...
I do have one thing, only because you made me think of it. Joe DiGenova, unfortunately, I was on vacation last week. My plans, I was in Oklahoma City, so I was unable to make the services. Before I left, I went back and listened to recording that was made back in November with the Veterans event, where I was privileged to introduce Joe and acknowledge him for his service to our country. And I remember making a statement when I went back and listened to it. First of all, Joe became a friend. I consider Joe a friend, and we had only known each other for a few years here, but what a great servant to this community. And I don't think I've ever heard anyone even suggest a negative as it relates to Joe DiGenova. He was a class act. But a statement I made, which kind of says it all for me, and no one here knows my father-in-law, but my father-in-law had a quiet strength about him. Joe DiGenova had a quiet strength about him. He was solid, he was honest in his dealings with everybody, and you could count on him. And that's about the highest compliment I ever paid anyway, because my father-in-law was a very special person, and Joe DiGenova was a very special person. So I appreciate you mentioning that, because it reminded me of that. And I felt badly about missing that, but he's a class act.
Yeah. Delaware will miss Joe. So no need for executive session
No,
this
since we do
morning?
not have a full board.
Okay. Well, with that, we are adjourned.